What's going on, friends and family? Welcome to the fan club, and this is our Power Rangers Top 10 All-Time Rangers. So I want to welcome you guys in here. This is going to be a great show. We want to get it right out of the way that there will be no Mighty Morphin Power Rangers in this, except for if they had a second or third generation within the series. Because honestly, we could do a top 10 about mostly MMPR in it. So I'm only going to include a few Power Rangers from that origin that went second and third generations within the series. Also, this is my top 10. So people that I really like, but also when I'm looking at Power Rangers, I'm looking at a criteria of the accolades of being a leader, how well they work with the team, how big of an impact they had on the Power Rangers franchise. There's going to be a few in there that are going to, you're going to be like, oh, I could swap someone out and put someone else in there. And yes, I totally agree, but that's why this is my list. And with any list, if it's basketball, football, Pokemon, no matter what, you're going to leave out something in a top 10. So let's get right into it. And before we do, I want to thank Rocky, Adam, Aisha, Zach, Trini, Jason, Billy, Kimberly, Kat, Tommy, all of the OG Rangers that came in Mighty Morphin Power Rangers and made it so we can do these top 10 lists now with all these different series. Without further ado, let's get it. Alright folks, at number 10 we have Doggie Kruger, the SPD Shadow Ranger. So this man, or I should say half Ranger, half dog, he was a great leader. One of the best traits of this man was he believed in training the B team like they were the A team. And for most people that have not seen this series or season of the Power Rangers, the Power Rangers SPD was actually the B team. So that team was actually a bunch of second-rate Rangers that came in and were trained and mentored by Doggie, the Shadow Ranger. They ended up being able to defeat the A team. The A team got captured, went rogue, actually captured Doggie Kruger, and the B team had to defeat them. So that's one thing I love about Doggie Kruger is he's a great leader. He's also half dog. Like that's super cool. I liked how they did that with this season because after his character they started to add different Rangers that weren't technically humans. So let's get to the next one. Okay, at number 9 we got TJ, the Red Turbo Ranger. We're going to focus on the Blue in Space Ranger, okay? He was Tommy's replacement and leader of the Turbo Clan, and he was second in command to Andros. I love TJ because he was a little spicy, he's a little fiery, but this man was a great leader and a great second in line. When Andros came in, he didn't complain, he didn't throw his hands up in the air and said, I was the Red Ranger. No, he came in and found his role and place in this team, and he defeated the Psycho Rangers. Without him and his chess plan, the Psycho Rangers would still be lurking havoc on the world, and for most people, we know who they are, who don't. Psycho Rangers were some of the best Power Ranger villains of all time. So TJ, you got my number 9, man. Welcome to the list. Let's get in right to the next one. Let's go. Okay, so at number 8, Jason Lee Scott, the Gold Zeo, an original red Mighty Morphin Power Ranger. Like I said before, we're going off second generations because that obviously means that they have a bigger impact on the world of Power Rangers. This man was the OG, and Tommy came in, was the 6th Ranger at the time, and then they switched, where Jason was the 6th Ranger and Tommy's the leader now. I love it. I loved what they did with it. There was no other Ranger that could play the original Gold Ranger than the original Red Ranger. I love what they did there. Obviously, there's been other Gold Rangers since then. He started a trend. We had to give it to our man, the OG, Jason. He is sitting number 8 right there. Let's get right into that next one. Let's go. Next up on the list, we have Cam, the Green Samurai Ranger from Power Rangers Ninja Storm. This guy is impressive. The only Power Ranger to clone himself. He had a clone that would be running the base as the tech guy, and he'd be out there saving the day. One of the coolest Zords. He has a helicopter Zord that turns into a fighting ninja star, basically. This dude's cool. He's one of the best tech guys. He can do it all. He can fight. One of the coolest Green Rangers. I love it. I was so excited to get this guy on the list, and this season of Ninja Storm is incredible. It all goes together. That's my pick. Let's move on to that next one. Okay, at number 6 we have Carlos, the Black In-Space Ranger, and he also played the Green Turbo Ranger. So he was a great soccer player, a great teammate and friend, and he was very trustworthy. He might not have been the number one guy on the team, but what I loved about Carlos was he was a great team player. He was awesome when it came to helping his team win at whatever it was. You could tell that he played sports. And Carlos was never that guy you had to worry about that was going to go to the evil side, that was going to do the wrong thing. He was very trustworthy. And on a team of Power Rangers, that one quality that cannot be used enough in the world. I loved it. I loved what he did. I think that is perfect for this team. And if we're having a team of 10 Power Rangers to save the world, I want that trait on my team. I love Carlos. He played a great Green Turbo Ranger. Yeah, that's where we're at. Let's get to the next one. Okay, so now we're getting to number 5. We have a Yellow Ranger. You know, I had to show some love to the ladies. We're talking about Taylor from Wild Force. She was the original leader of the team. She was hard-headed, but super strong leader. She also took second in command very well. So yeah, she didn't want to turn over the team, but she did because she realized how good of a Red Ranger that they had on their team. Cole, he was a beast. And now you got Yellow right having his back. I loved her. She was a little intense, but man, could she get the job done better than most. And when I have a team, I want one of the ladies that could almost tell the guys what to do and be out there not getting any special treatment. She was awesome. I love everything about this character. I love how she was started a little hard-headed in the beginning, and as she realized how good of a leader Cole was, she played number 2 role a lot better. But man, do I love this character in Taylor, and she doesn't get enough love, so we had to show it to her right here on the fan club video. I don't know what you guys think about this. Some people might scratch their heads, but I really did like this character. Let's get in the next one. Folks, this is a little controversial. At number 4, we have Sid, the pink SPD Ranger. She was very edgy. This girl had a mouth on her. She was not a Kimberly Pink Ranger, all right? She was not, oh, Tommy, save me. No, no, no. She was about that life. There was a dog in SPD, like a robot dog named Rick, and Rick loved her son, or loved him some Sid. That was her number one person that he had to be around. And one of my favorite things that Sid ever said, she said, "I'm filthy, cranky, and my shoes are trash. You want to mess with me?" She was about that life. I love Sid. No one ever talks about her, but she did great. Let's move to the next one. At number 3, we got Zane, the Silver in Space Ranger. I had to give this man some love because dude is just cool. He was in a cyber coma, gets the space powers, the silver space powers, and he turns into a next level freak. This guy is one of the coolest 6 Rangers of all time. He is in love with Corone, which she just keeps breaking her heart as Astronema. Character's cool. The suit's amazing. I love his weapons. Everything about the Silver Space Ranger was insane. Let's get to the next one. Okay, now we're getting to one of the biggest OGs of all time. Number 2, we have Zeo Ranger 5, Tommy Oliver. This man, we could make like a 15-minute video about this guy. He is the OG, the original green, the original white, Zeo Ranger 5, the red Turbo Ranger before he passed the powers on to TJ. He was the black Dino Thunder Ranger. This guy is the most famous and longest running character in Power Rangers history. The dude is a beast, and he had to make this list somehow. He's a great leader, great captain of the team, but not only that, a great teacher. In Dino Thunder, he was a mentor to those kids and taught them how to be better versions of themselves and better Power Rangers. Without Tommy, there would be no more Power Rangers. They would have been dead a long time ago. I love everything about this character. Tommy is the OG, and I had to put him at the top of our list. I know he's number 2, but there's a reason why he's number 2. And like I said, this is my list. I absolutely had to put Tommy in there somehow, because this wouldn't be a Power Rangers list without him. You know, I said we wouldn't put all the MMPR in there, but we definitely had to incorporate a few of them because they just weren't on Mighty Morphin Power Rangers. A lot of them went on to keep the Power Rangers going. So I had to show some love to Tommy. Zeo Ranger 5, you made the list at number 2. And I'm super excited to tell you guys what number 1's going to be. So without any further ado, let's get into that real quick. One time for the fun time. Let's get it. And coming in at number 1 as my all-time Power Ranger, we have Andros from Power Rangers in Space. So Andros is a very special character. He is an alien trying to save his sister Corone, who turns up to be Astronema, just to save her from Dark Spectre. He had to sacrifice Zordon and save the entire world, which you guys are watching right now. This man was one of the greatest leaders in Power Ranger history. Now, that is not a light term. This man is Tommy, Jason, Carter, all wrapped in one. He took a group of Turbo Rangers that needed a leader and led them to one of the greatest seasons of all time in Power Rangers history. They met up with the Ninja Turtles. They met up with the Blue Turbo Ranger. They fought the Psycho Rangers. They had a lot of good times and bad times, and this right here was one of the most influential episodes in Power Rangers history. Now, it also ended this little world of the Power Rangers, because then after this they started Lost Galaxy, and then basically every single year they swapped out. This Power Rangers season was one of the first to include old characters from the past. Villains, allies, old Rangers. Absolutely loved it. Andros has to be number 1 because he's a great leader, great friend, and he saved the whole universe, not just a planet, not just a country, a state. No, he saved absolutely everybody.